Number three. Again, it's a little bit more sophisticated. I suggest that, use the tool that you will feel more comfortable in what you need. This one is called give them a reason. Give them a reason why they should give you a better deal. You need to give the other side, you don't need to, but one of the negotiation strategies is to give the other side a reason why you deserve a better deal than what they offer you. And I'm going to give you 5 examples, but there's billions of them, okay? But just 5 that I'm using all the time, and probably you use them also in this way or another. I'm just going to put them under context. Okay? So the idea is that you're asking them, let's say, in the simplest example, you say, hey, I like this pen, how much is it? And they say 100, and you want it for 50. Okay? So you need to give them a reason why they should give it to you for 50. This is something that happens a lot with us. I'm offering the crazy bonus deal in the business bootcamp, and people come to me and says, well, I want to pay less, or I want a discount. Why? I mean, this is what will come in my mind or in the mind of the other person. Sometimes we ask, I wanted a discount, and they're okay to give it to you. They will give it to you. But sometimes it will be like, why? I think it's a fair deal. Why would I give it to you? And they won't say it, but they will think it, and you need to answer that by giving them a reason. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so here are 5 reasons that you can give that works. Okay, and that works. The first one, it's not perfect. Reason number 1, it's not perfect. There is something wrong with it. Okay? It's not as good as it should be, it's not as big as it should, it's not as fast, whatever it is. It's a little old, it's a little used, whatever it is. So I'll give you an example, very quick, well, I don't know if quick, but example from our life. We went on a vacation in California, I don't know, a while ago, with a big camper, the RV. Yeah? Big camper, very big. Too big for me to drive. Anyway, I was driving it for 6 weeks around California, whatever, and then we needed to return it. You need to return it. And what happens through the time that we were driving there, a few things that were not going so well. The table fell down, and we needed to stop somewhere in one of their garages to fix it. And there were, some time that something else happened, that the plates fell because the door was not closed anyway. So that happened, no big deal. We fixed it, and we went on. But when we came back, I needed to bring it back with full tank. So I stopped in the gas station just opposite the camps, where the campers are, where they're parking for them. And I stopped in a gas station, and I started filling the gas, the petrol. And then somebody's, whatever it is, with his horn behind me. And I'm looking, what's going on? And he says, listen, you parked this way, so I cannot pass to the next pump. So, oh, sorry, just give me a minute. And I'm going to the driver's seat, and I'm driving a little bit forward to get, to get straight. And I forgot that I'm still connected to the pump. So I'm driving a little bit, and the pump, the nozzle is doing this, and it breaks there's no way to close it anymore and everything. So I put it back and says, fuck, here goes my deposit, right? You have the deposit for damages and everything, because I managed to drive for 6 weeks without scratching it, which is very rare, I think, at least for me. But it's a big car, and, big car. Anyway, so what to do? So we're going back to the where we need to return it, just 200 meters from there. And we're going down, we pick up our suitcase, and came the woman to do the inspection. And as soon as she comes in, she says, hey, listen, I just want you to see what happened just now. I'm, stupid enough. I managed to go into the gas station, telling her the story and see. She says, no problem, this is in your agreement, and she's writing it down. I said, but listen, I need to show you a few things in the camper that, they were not so good, and, maybe you should fix them before the next tourists, before, they complain. And I went in and I showed her, listen, this table, you see that right now it doesn't flop anymore? It's because it broke, and we needed to go to your garage, and they made it fixed. So it's always like that, which is not so nice because it takes some space. And I showed her, and you see this cupboard, the magnets are not working anymore. So every time you take a turn, all the plates are flying, and, it's keep on breaking, and it's, it's not nice. And you see this curtain that needs to cover from the sun when we're sleeping on above the cabin is, it's torn, and it's not well. And I'm going like this, through all this stuff, and at one point she says, you know what? How about I'll drop the part that you made the damage, and you will not ask us for compensating you for all this, which I didn't intend to. And I says, okay. It wasn't perfect. Is that clear? Okay? So that's something that works really, really well. If it's true. Okay? If it's true. You cannot use it all the time, but if it's true, well, absolutely use it. Next one. Probably you use that, but again, just put it under context. Volume discount. Hey, I'm going to buy 6 pairs of shoes from you. For those of you that buy 6 pairs of shoes, ask for a discount. Hey, I'm buying 6. Okay? By the way, did you know that this is clear, right? If you buy a few or a volume, then you should get a discount, right? It's a win-win. They are just now closed the deal, which is much bigger for them, so they should give you a discount. That makes sense. And by the way, business to business, anything. Okay, when we are ordering 1,000 workbooks for the business bootcamp, we get a better price than when we buy 100 workbooks for this training. But you need to ask for it, because they will not give it to you from their own volition. You need to ask for it. You need to say, hey, I'm buying 1,000, and I'm buying it every few months, then I want a better price. You probably do that, right? But did you know that you can ask for a volume discount even if you don't buy the volume? Okay, it's a promise of volume. You know, I'm going to buy right now 100. I'm planning to buy 1,000, but I want to see how it works. And you know, don't lie. Again, everything that I'm talking about needs to be in integrity. But if you have plans in the future to maybe buy something in volume, you can tell them that, and you many times will get that volume discount. And by the way, volume doesn't have to be a lot. Okay, it doesn't have to be a lot. In the States, I love doing that. I would go and I would buy two pens and one shirt, and I would go to the cashier, and they will type in the numbers, and they will say it's $140. I said, but that's the price that is written on the price tag. And he says, yeah. He says, but I buy volume. He says, what volume? He says, I buy 2 pens and a shirt. I could have bought only 1 pen, right? And buy the pen somewhere else, the other pens. So I'm buying from you right now in volume, then I deserve a discount. And sometimes they immediately give it to me, and sometimes they won't. And what happened many times in the States, I don't know how it would work here in Holland, but the guy behind the cashier says, listen, it's not really a volume, but if you will have a family card, you can get 25% discount. He says, really? He says, yes. He says, can I have a family card? He says, sure. And they will go under, they will give you the family card, and you sign it, and you get 25%. You never come back to the shop ever, because I was a tourist, They will do that. It's a win-win, okay? So that's a volume. It's in what you think is a volume. If you plan to buy 1, but you buy 2, that's a volume. And you need to explain it to them. Listen, I can buy it now, or I can buy it somewhere else. So many times they will understand that. By the way, we do that too. If somebody, we had the years that, not a lot of people, but we had some people that says, listen, I want to do all the trainings with you. I want to do all the trainings with you. I know that I want to do that, and I want a good deal for that. And at one point, we developed a whole program for that. We called it the master degree, and people got 3 years of doing as many trainings as they want. Can't remember how much it was cost. I think 18,000 euros, and they got one price, and they could do anything they want for 3 years. They can do second, third time the trainings. They can do any new training that will show up, anything for 3 years. We didn't know in advance what would be. And we had, what did we have, 40 people? MD? 38? So it's people, it's a volume, so I was willing to give them a good deal for that. Does that make sense? All right. Next one, future business. Still here, huh? Still in the, give them a reason. Future business. It's not a promise, but it's a consideration of the future business. You want to tell them, listen, I'm considering you to work with you for long term, but I want to, to see what you can do for me for that. So they will give you usually a discount. So when I want to create a new website or a new design of something, I will go to a few designers and I will say, listen, we are creating X amount of design a year, and I want a price for that. Right now I'm going to give you only 1, but if the price is right and your quality is right, we'll do that. I don't know how many of you saw, but last year around September, October, we started giving every week a PDF with 10 pages, or no, 15 pages with the 10 tips about something. And it was the same designer, I think I mentioned it, as a guy from Ukraine. His name is Konstantin. He's probably 15 years old. Brilliant graphic designer. And he wanted like $120 for a PDF. I told him, listen, I'm not going to pay you that. I'm going to pay you $60 PDF, but I'm going to promise you that if it's the right quality, I will buy from you every week for 10 weeks, and probably will have next year. And he wasn't very happy about it, but he was willing to do 1 for $60 and see how much it will take him time and everything. It was so great that we gave him the other 9 immediately on the spot for $540. So for $600, we got 10 PDFs. It's half the price he wanted, but for him it was great because it gave him a volume. It gave him a future business, and today we're still working with him for other things. Okay, so that's the consideration of the future. With hotels, we do that a lot. Today we're much less because we have a place which I'll tell you in a moment what kind of negotiation we used with them. But before, we would just change every time. So we would go to hotels and tell them, listen, we are wanting to work with the future, so give us a good deal. The next one is long-term relationship, which is a little bit different. So I want to emphasize that. Promise them a long-term business. A long-term relationship, sorry. And this is very, very big in business. Yeah, because future business can be for everything. It can be, you can do that. I mean, you probably get a better deal if you sign a rent agreement for your house for 5 years than if you sign it for a year, right? Right? I mean, it's kind of standard. But for business to business, the word that you want to use is long-term relationship. And especially if it's bigger businesses, they understand the importance of long-term relationship because they don't want every time to find a new supplier. That's why big organizations work with preferred suppliers, right? Because they see that they can develop a long-term relationship. They don't every time needs to go through negotiation, changing prices, deals, whatever it is. They can work with that company forever. That's why they like big companies, because it's a little bit more stable in their eyes. Okay, you can accept it or not, but that's how it works. So long-term relationship, if you can stress that, it's very big in business. So the way we did it, for example, the way that we got the NBC, at the beginning, we told them, not just them, but whoever we went to, we said, listen, we are in the business already for 12 or 13 or 14 years was at that time, and we're looking for a home base. We're looking for a home-based place where we can do all or most of our activities, and that means, that we're going to come again and again and again with a lot of people. So we got a very, very good deal, and we're still working with them. Sometimes it goes relationship up, sometimes down, but we're still working with them after 7 years, which is a long-term relationship. We are still their biggest client. NBC is a big place, and we are the biggest client in amount of money. I think we pay $1 million, there was a period that we used to pay €1 million a year there, when we did a little bit more events. So that's a big business for them. But they didn't know that at the beginning. But we told them, we want to become a long-term partners, so you better give us a good deal. Sometimes they forget it, so we need to remind them that we are, because they raise the price every year, of course. So we need to remind them that we're still working on long-term, right? Or you want us to start talking to the RAI? And by the way, it's funny because one time we did that, can't remember with what, and they heard that before we could tell them, because we're usually very straightforward about it. It's good negotiation. But suddenly I'm getting a phone call from Justin. He says, I just spoke to whoever it was, and they told me that you're sniffing around, that you were looking at their home. Is there something, are we not okay anymore? We said, well, Justin, you just raised the prices without considering with us, so we need to check our options. So just that you know. Long-term relationships. The last one for giving them a reason, giving them a reason is if you can save them money. This is important. Again, a lot in business, but in other places also. So, for example, in a hotel or a location, it's much easier for them if they already know us. In the NBC, they know exactly what we need, exactly the way we work. They can calculate how many people they need. They don't need to train the people and explain them every time how we behave, because we always behave in the same way. The room is organized always in the same way. There's the lines in the same way, the times that we go for. They know everything. It saves them a lot on personnel, on time on personnel. So we tell them, we don't keep it hidden. We tell them, when we work with you, we will train your people once, and they will get from us. I mean, Anya is very good at that in giving them, Anya and our team is very good at giving them exactly what we want. We are very professionals with that. We are very professional. So they get exactly what they need to do. It saves them so many hours of training people, of correcting mistakes and everything, that it's worth for them to give us a better deal. It's just worth for them to give us a better deal. So that's an example. They can save on personnel. Sometimes we tell people, listen, if I will pay in cash, can I get a discount? Okay, if I will pay in cash, it saves them money because it saves them money. It saves them right now because right now they need cash. So that's another way to do that. Can I pick it up? So they don't charge you for the shipping and handling. Do you understand? It saves them money, so they're willing to give you a better deal.